to rise.
What happened for me when I got my cancer diagnosis is I decided to ask myself this question. I don't recommend it for everyone. It's sort of an advanced course. But I thought to myself, well, what if this were the best thing that ever happened to me?
Felt like falling through the sky. No parachute to catch me.
And so by asking myself that question, it put my brain on that trail. And then I won the songwriting contest. And then somebody said, oh, that would be a good song for a movie. And in the middle of all this, I'm trying to decide, well, what would make living more appealing than dying right now? Because I don't believe in death. I believe there's life on this side and there's life on the other side. So for me, I think the most important thing for life, no matter what you're doing, is to get yourself in a place where you feel stable, where you feel stable in, I call it okayness. Like, are you okay right now? Can you feel okay right now? Or better, but okay. And from that place, that's where I go from. So each day, I look for a way to find at least okay. So my songs reflect how I live my life. And I live my life believing that there's always a way to find an upside. And when I first got this cancer diagnosis in 2019, I decided to only do what I wanted to do from now on. And if it wasn't fun, I wasn't doing it. And I won a songwriting contest, and the judge said, oh, that song could be in the movies. And I thought, well, wouldn't that be fun? And then, you know how Google reads your mind, and next thing you know, I'm in a class learning how to write songs for TV, ads, and films. And the thing about that is that they want upbeat songs. They don't want any love songs, no romantic songs, just upbeat songs or friendship songs or I care about you songs. So I felt like I found my people, and I already live like that. Like, I try to find the best of everything, and I try to see the best in everyone that I look at. And so that's what I do. I look at a situation, and it's not like I don't ever feel sad or I don't ever feel angry. I do, but I don't dwell there. I always try to stay fluid and moving. And so my songs reflect how I live, that I'm always looking for an upside, a bright side, or a way to move forward so that I feel better. Because I believe if I feel better, I have more to offer the world. If I'm feeling bad, then what I have to offer is limited to that. My song, Rise Again, I was tasked, actually one of my mentors, Sonnet Simmons and John Kleinbell, I was in a songwriting mastermind with them, and they tasked me to write an inspirational song on my guitar. And at that time, I had been, this was just a few months ago, but I was in remission. The hip replacement I've been waiting for years was on the calendar. And a year ago, right about a year ago, I was dying, and they were going to throw all this chemo at me, and I was like, oh, I don't want to do anymore, except I had an old dog, and I just felt like it was my job to get him through. So I did this last round of chemo, and I got into remission. It was crazy. And so that was the inspiration for writing the song, Rise Again. And then, as it turns out, I worked on that song, and I had a couple of co-writers with me, but they were just kind of standing by. But again, it's the hearts that are in it. And as it turns out, my dog Camelot, the day he passed was the day that I finally got a version of that song that I thought was right. And the vet came to my house, and we went out into the field next door and sent him on his way to that song. So it was kind of crazy, the timing of that.
You're not alone. Rise up, you're coming home. Rise up, you're not alone. Rise. Rise again. Lift your heart and it begins again to rise. I don't know what I'm gonna do without you, but I know I'll make it through. I promise you, I can see the light. It will get brighter soon. There will be tears of joy and tears of sorrow. I live it all every day of my tomorrow. I'll take today. Ready? Na 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 na. Take today. Na 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 na. I don't know how I'm supposed to cope.
My song Take Today, actually on the day I was waiting for the vet to come, and I'm an animal person. I don't have children, but anyway, and I've been a dog trainer in some of my life, but I was waiting for the vet to come, and I was singing to myself, I don't know what I'm gonna do without you. And so that's where that song started, was the day that Camelot was leaving. And but then it just turned into this anthem of hope. And my friend Sonnet, who did that version of Rise Again, and she did that version, by the way, because I can't hit those high notes. But my friend Sonnet, she sings that to her kids, that song, Take Today. The ending, there's a tag on it. May you have all you need when you need it, and all you want along the way. And I would just love to have mothers everywhere singing that song.
Along the way, and may you have all you need when you need it, and all you want, and all you want today. Na 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 na. Take today. Na 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 na. Take today. Today.
In the 80s, I was in Manhattan, and I recorded in Manhattan. Back then, it was reel-to-reel tapes, and a lot of drugs also. And then I also, when I first moved to San Francisco, I did some recording in San Francisco, I played guitar and sang on the streets before I went to work every day. And I had an original song called Risk It All that was actually the title song of a street musician's cassette tape. So that, I've been in and out of recording studios quite a bit. And then last summer of 21, an organization called Cancer Can Rock reached out, and they help a musician with cancer make a song. They bring you into the studio and they make you a star for the day. And so I was down at Village Studios in LA, and I made a song called Unbreakable Heart. And you can find that at cancercanrock.org. And actually, as my EP is released, you go to cindershine.com and you can donate to Cancer Can Rock and then download the EP. So I'm going to be offering the whole EP in that way to help Cancer Can Rock. And then I'll release it on streaming platforms after the first of the year. My first 33 record was America, Homecoming, that had Horse with No Name on it. Guitars and vocals. And then I loved Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young and Dan Fogelberg. And I think probably those musicians were my growing up loving those musicians. And currently, I listen to current alternative rock. That's kind of my jam. And I am kind of a diehard Imagine Dragons fan. And Michael Franti, Michael Franti is probably my favorite musician on the planet. And I'm just inspired by, he tells the truth and then lifts everyone up as well. And that's what I try to do with my music. Like, okay, here's the truth, and here, just breathe a little easier. You can breathe a little easier, you'll be all right. And he does that so well. For me, songwriting, I use a couple of different things, but I often will pick a theme first. So I don't just delve into, whatever I'm feeling. That's in there, but I'm like, what will the theme of this be? Will it be comforting a friend? Will it be feeling good or going to a party, or what's the theme? And I learned to do that as I'm writing for TV ads and films, because there's plenty of heartbreak songs already. They don't need any more. And so I really never write about romantic relationships anymore. That's what I used to write about. So now I look for people who say things in a way that's interesting and unusual. So a feeling that, like a cliche, like it's all about the journey, right? But that's not what you'll say in a song. You'll find a way to say it so that people feel that cliche, but you don't use those words. So I'm always looking for a phrase, and then I jot it down, or sometimes a little melody, whatever, and I capture it on my phone. So I'm always mining the world for song ideas, and and sometimes when I sit down to write a song, I do that because I can feel one coming. Songwriting makes me happy, and the being in, like, my whole music involvement thing makes me so happy. Like, I've had so many life affirming connections and moments, and that's what does it for me. And I think that music for people does that, whether it's songwriting or I have a friend who does a program called Surviving the Odds Project. It's called STOP, and builds recording studios in schools and helps the marginalized kids come in and they learn how to use a recording studio and write a song. And yes, it turns their mental health around. When I first started to do music for TV ads and films in February of 2020, and then I was in a class, we had 350 people from around the world. And it was always a Zoom thing, but then the whole world went on lockdown. But so I learned, so this is the first time I've done music, like I was really seriously, doing music with some, I say serious, but I promised myself if I made it not fun anymore, I wasn't, like I was following the fun of it. But, and it's always, often, the song comes out better when you have collaborators. And so I learned to, one of my favorite songwriters is in Australia. Her name is Amy Francis, and we wrote a whole bunch of stuff together, and then we used a producer in Scotland, and we all record our vocals at home and send it to the producer in Scotland, and then he mixes it. I mean, it's crazy, but, and then sometimes you're like, oh, I'm looking for this word or this feeling, and the other person just has it. A couple of weeks ago, when in the middle of this GoFundMe, I was thinking, like, there's so many people that love me, and they're all over the world. This is my virtual community, but they love me, and I know it. And you know what? Going through what I've been going through, it matters. And I reached out to my friend in Australia, and I'm like, that's the song. Let's write this song. It matters. And so we did. But she was able to say, anyway, we were both just able to say things. We pieced the song together. So collaborating is, I think, one of the strengths. And if you're a songwriter listening to this and you've never tried collaborating, try it. It's better together. I can only speak to my experience of these last almost 3 years, because before that, like I said, it was in the 80s and I was in New York and we had reel-to-reel. So this is all new to me, this modern way of making music. And what's really also important about collaborating is, so again, just like with my songwriting, same with collaborating for me. I make sure I am stable in my mood. Where am I? Am I okay or better, right? And then if I get an idea, when I'm in a good mood, that's the one I follow around. And if something says to me, reach out to that person, and I'm in a good mood, I do it. And one of my biggest collaborators has been a fella, his name is Nick Phelps. He goes by Mr. Phelps. And he's a chaplain, a rapper. He has 4 kids. And we connect on a spiritual level. But, I mean, he's a hip-hop guy. And here's this old white lady. Like, we write hip-hop together. And then he has a thing he does with my vocals, Cinder Shine. He has a whole, because he produces. So you just never know what's going to happen next. And we just had a song on America's Funniest Videos last weekend. And it got like a whole minute of play over a montage. And yeah, so, and my friend Dan Trilk from Iowa, and he came out for the LA recording session. He flew out, but he was standing by on Rise Up. And, you know, in Nashville rules with songwriting, you don't split things up by who wrote what. If you're in the room, you get an equal piece of the song, and that's the way it is. And so, because it takes everybody to make a great song. So, yeah. But again, for me, it all depends on where do you stand right in this moment. Do you feel crappy? Well, tune that up before you take any move, and your outcomes are better and easier. Trace the Sky, what happened was we did this fundraiser so that I could go to LA and produce this record, and we did it for $6,000, and within like 5 days we had $13,000. So I thought, well, I'll do an extra song. And then my friend John Kleinbell, he's a mentor and he started the fundraiser. I said, let's write one. Come on, let's write one. And so, and I know we wanted it to be sort of an anthem for what I was going through at the time. And we wanted it to somehow, my nickname is Cinder Shine. So we wanted it to say shine in some way. And then, I don't know, to me it's just magical, because I'm finding my way through this latest round of cancer. And I find my own way to see the light trace the sky with diamonds.
What's the meaning in a dream? Always rustling in the trees. When your call is falling lost, no one has the answers for how to handle what's in store. But I'm about to find it now. Ready? I find my own way. I find my own way to see the light trace the sky in diamonds.
So my song, And She Sings, came about probably 2 weeks ago. And I had just gotten this crazy MRI report again that the tumors in my head had been growing and the chemo wasn't working. And then I just sat and wrote that song just came. And I was thinking about Blackbird by the Beatles when I wrote it. And that's really how I've gotten through all this cancer drama, is I just keep singing. And in 2 months ago, when this last round hit me, some of my friends put a GoFundMe together so that I could record this EP before they radiated my face, which I'm so glad they did, because now, I don't know what's going to happen next. But the thing is that, so at least a couple times a week, I make a little update to my GoFundMe people. And so I recorded a video of me singing this song, and one of my friends who's a producer heard it, and he said, I want to make this song. I said, okay. And he sent me a track, and I got home from radiation that day and recorded the vocal at home and sent it back to him. And so within 24 hours, we had this song. And my friend in England, because I have songwriting friends all over the world, we do things remotely. The producer is in Chicago area, I think. Anyway, she made me a video to go with the song. And so that's the story of And She Sings.
She sings when darkness falls. She hears the blackbird call. She looks beyond the walls and she's free. Don't get inside her mind. You won't like what you find. She's gone and you can't hide what you feel. Take these broken wings and fly. Take this broken heart and don't ask why. 'Cause she sings, and she sings, and you won't give up, no you won't give up on her. And you don't give up, no you don't give up on her. 'Cause she sings, and she sings. Out there she's not alone. The angels made her home. She knows there's nothing nothing wrong, can't you see that these broken wings can fly, that this broken heart knows why. Take these broken wings and fly. Take this broken heart and don't you ask me why. 'Cause she sings and she sings and she sings and she sings. Lift your heart and it begins again to rise.